All right, everybody, welcome to an extreme stream. For those of you that haven't seen an extreme stream for a while, it is it's a throwback. Let's see how we go here. So we're gonna go live. We're gonna watch Bitcoin for a little bit, answer some questions, and we are going to see what we can make of all of the action going on here today. Where have I been? I've been right here. Where have you been? Like, seriously, this is my chair. It's my microphone. I've been right here. Just bought 29.9. Do I survive? Well, if you bought 29.9, Kilber, you've got a pretty good stop loss in case this thing doesn't want to stop and turn around. So pretty good buy at 29.9. Yeah, if you look at the lower time frames, we're on the 15 minute on the left side of my chart. And we definitely, what did we go down to? 29.7. That's a pretty ballsy buy. What did you buy that off of? Yeah, I haven't done much. You're right. I've pretty much been stuck in the power hour, and that's about it. And doing some other things. I have not been, I've not been on YouTube much. You are correct. Trying to rectify that a little bit, but to be honest with you, the market's been really choppy lately. It hasn't been. I gotta say, as a YouTuber, it's really hard for me to put out a video that says, "Hey, don't do anything for the next 3 months." That's not going to get a lot of clicks, or maybe it would. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Don? Listen to me while I fall asleep. You want me to? Should I ASMR you, Don? Should I ASMR? Should I do this? Does that help? So what? Yeah, I agree with you on the so what. I actually do agree with you on that. It is what it is, though. I'm going to try to be more active, to be quite honest with you. I'm trying to make an effort. I'm here today. Obviously, not we're not falling right now. We're actually bouncing. We're bouncing a little bit right now, but actually right off of one of our support lines, going all the way back here to 30K, actually bouncing off 30K. So on my chart right here, it is pretty, especially when I do it, Don. It's really creepy when I do it. Stream 4 years ago, Tony? Yeah, 2020, I'm sorry, 12/22, 2018. Is that the one you're thinking about, Tony? I talked about that today in the Power Hour, actually, because that was a live capitulation. Yeah. Jamie stacking most of crypto for long run. Good for you. Very nice. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I mean, crypto's going to be around, macroeconomically, which these days is a consideration. We could be stagnating in most, if not all, financial markets for a significant period of time as portfolios are rebalanced for a new normal when it comes to monetary policy across the globe. That doesn't even have anything to do with crypto. But crypto is a part of the world in terms of monetary policy, and also, the big banks that's sloshing around money across the globe. So yeah, crypto's been in a new normal, though. Crypto's new normal has been sideways horizontal now since January of 2021. So it's already kind of doing this. Don, I forgot to get you some ideas. I got pulled away for something, so we'll talk tomorrow about some stuff. You're staking it, Jamie? I missed the staking part. All I'll say about this, Jamie, is if you're staking, if it's true staking, it's not. So do true staking. Don't do. I may get the terminology wrong here, but don't go to these lending platforms. And some people consider staking on a lending platform. Try not to do that because you can get liquidated if the market does have a very, very extreme reaction underneath 30K. So just make sure you're actually staking and getting more of the native token, whatever token you're staking. Don't do it on a leveraged platform like a Celsius where it has a liquidation point, because I was actually talking with a gentleman the other day who unfortunately liquidated a really good amount of BTC. Liquidated a tremendously good amount of BTC in March of 2020. So yeah, obviously a very unexpected event for everybody. March of 2020 right here. So his liquidation point was like $4,000. So he got liquidated right at the end down here, right at the tip. So we're talking dozens of BTC down here. So yeah, definitely make sure it's on a platform where you're not going to get liquidated. I don't know if it goes down more today, tomorrow, or the next, but I don't see anything on the macro level to move Bitcoin into the bull run. Agree with you on that for sure. Waiting for the next halving 2024. Continue into bear market for the next few years. Yeah, we definitely could go into a bear market. 30K is key. We've been discussing that in my Power Hour show, and 30K is key. And we are here, ladies and gentlemen. We are at 30K. We're getting some support, which you would hope you would see at 30K. Absolutely. And so it says there's 22 people here, although I think Bitcoin's numbers I think YouTube's numbers are wrong. There may be more, there may be less, but there's only 5 likes, guys. Hit that like button. You guys are watching the stream. I'm sure if you're watching on your phone, you know, there's something to tap. If you're using a mouse, something to click. Hit the like button. But shoot, I was going to say something other than that. Oh yeah, support at 30K. So we're down here at 30K. This is where we should be finding support. And yeah, we'll see if it continues. But the close on the day today is pretty dramatic. I agree with you. Me, Lamo Diego, is, if I'm not butchering your name there, completely agree with you. 100%. You are right. Shadow banned? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't had any issues with my videos other than the fact that I don't post very often. I don't have any logistical issues with people finding them or whatnot. So we'll see. All I know is the more you guys like, if you guys comment, maybe YouTube, maybe the algorithm will show a little bit more love to the channel. But, you know, most of it's just the fact I don't really post very often. Anyway, so down here at 30K, a tremendous amount of volume. What was our day yesterday? Jay Diaz in the house. What's up, Jay? How you doing, man? 12%. So UTC date just closed an hour and 10 minutes ago. Look at the volume, big volume. Could that be a bottoming candle? It's possible. So my volume aggregation tool here does show there is some buying pressure here. We should find some support at 30K. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you guys. This is like, what? Go ahead, Ethan. Ethan, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Could you hear that? Say it with some confidence.
Hi.
There you go. This is Ethan. How old are you, Ethan?
11.
There you go. You're talking to a whopping 24 people right now. That's funny. This guy says hello, Ethan. Look, Diego says hello, Ethan. There you go. Jay Diaz says, hey, Ethan.
Hi, guys.
There you go. What are you getting paper for? Are you going to draw something?
Yeah.
Nice. What are you going to draw?
I'm going to write.
Oh, really? Yeah. All right. I can't wait. One Man Army says, yo, little dude. And he is a little dude. He is a little dude. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Actually, back in the day, and actually the kids will be, oh, do you remember, Jay, when I had the kids drawing the charts? I gotta say, man, can he draw a capitulation? Well, James was going for vertical capitulation. That didn't work out. James, you lied to us. James, you lied. It's my other son, James. He lied to us. He said 1 million BTC, but that never happened. Hey, what's up, Aram? I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you? You doing good? Hopefully not holding too much underwater that you're freaking out on. Good sale on Sol, my friend. Excellent job of exiting that one before all this calamitous action. We're at 65 right now. Very glad you sold. You have no idea how happy I am that you sold that position. I was stressing for you when we were going through that, so I'm really glad you did that. Support levels here, and they will be respected. The big question is, will it roll over and head to the next big support at 20K? I think it has a few good chances over the next couple of months. Yeah, let's talk about that for a bit. What I wanted to say earlier when I was talking about the viewers here, I want to show you the coolest feature in TradingView that I found out about today. You ready for this? Look at the screen. You ready for this? Are you guys ready? In the middle, you can click and drag your windows side to side. I didn't know that until today. Look at that. And look, you can see like 8 bars here, and they have the price window go away. Look at that. Bam, price window pop. This is the best addition to TradingView in a long time. Right here, seriously. So if you guys don't utilize this multi-window feature on TradingView, they just made it a lot more powerful. And that's because you used to not be able to drag this. So You're welcome. If you didn't know that, hit the like button. What, Don? Don, I will fuck you up, okay? Do you understand, Don? Do you understand? I will get my ass on a plane, fly to wherever the hell you're vacationing in the middle of the sand desert, and I will come out, kick you in the dick. Do you understand me? Boomer. Call me a damn boomer. I'm not a boomer. I'm actually a Gen Xer. Oh, Porto, now you want me to buy a plane ticket? What fun is having a YouTube channel if I can't yell at people that can't yell back at me? No, there's no fun. It's no fun if that can't happen. So I'm really glad I get the opportunity to yell at people. You're 52, so you don't know where I fall? I think I'm 42. And yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 20 years. So you may be a Gen Xer as well. I'm the last year of Gen X, like legitimately within a year of the last year of Gen X. So, all right, Don, take it easy, bud. Yeah, you can't sleep with me yelling at you, anyways. No, I think you're Gen Xer, Army. I think you're a Gen Xer. I don't know if that's a promotion or not, but think of hold on. Ethan's asking me. Think of a color and think of a tool. Chartreuse and 5/16 box wrench.
Not a color.
Chartreuse is a color.
Common.
Oh, a common color. Orange. A 5/16 box wrench. Phillips head screwdriver. You talking about a red hammer? You want me to do red hammer? I saw that video. I saw that video. Sorry guys, my kid just jumped in on me again. Okay. I'm just having fun here today. Opinion on the Luna stablecoin DPEG. I actually haven't heard about that. Bill Cotta 420. That's news to me. Did that happen recently? I know Luna just got hit pretty darn hard. Like extraordinarily hard. I don't know why, guys, but my trend lines aren't on here. I usually have way too many trend. Oh, Bitcoin has my trend lines on it, but for some reason Luna is not showing up. So I would probably have to draw a trend line here. So these were the trend lines for Luna that we had. And volume started drying up. We noted how weak it was. Didn't know it was going to have this big of a day today. But we did mention at some point Luna was definitely had a potential for a big day. And obviously yesterday was that day. So yeah, I'm not familiar with that particular scenario. But it was pretty weak. And actually, if you look at the TVL over here on Luna, it was, oh man, it's down at 10K. So yesterday was at 17. When we looked at it earlier today during the power hour, it was 15. Now it's 10. So yeah, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. Yeah, so big problem for Luna going forward. These bounces we're seeing right now could just be dead cat bounces. There's definitely some accumulation happening. You can see here there's a bit of a lower low, and just like I suspected, a divergence on the 15 minute. How about 2 hour? It's probably too small for a real divergence. So no divergence on there, but on the 15 minute. You know, anytime you see this kind of price action that comes down dramatically, and then you have basically a slightly lower low, kind of like a stutter step in comparison to the rest of this price action, you're always going to see a divergence here. It's just kind of how it works out. So there's a diverging RSI. We just had a stalling candle here on the 15 minute. So some of these are looking a little bit like dead cat bounces. So we may get some consolidations, and we'll probably know in a few days a little bit more about how we're going to behave down here if we don't get just a complete rollover. The best case scenario here is probably some tighter price action, lower volume, implying selling pressures drifted away, and then we'll see some type of a bullish pattern, and then we'll see some additional upside movement. So what we were looking at today, earlier in the show, was this drop here, and my show starts at 9 here, and ended it today a little late, get about 10:30. So that was during the show. We did move down a little bit more, and we did come up above this trend line in kind of a nothing really candle. That was actually a shorting opportunity. Believe I actually did short that. I shorted that pop up there. I think I still have that short on. I was considering closing it, but I'm going to leave it on for now. So I actually did short that. And because here's one thing: when you get a situation like this, when things pop up in a really bearish environment, and it doesn't have to be this, it could have been up here. It could have been up here as well, like right here. You get these first pops up; those are great stops. Okay, those are your great stops right there. And if it rarely comes back to it, and this was such a bearish environment, and so we may have just had another. So here's the drop right there, and then so here's a first big pop. So that was a good shorting opportunity because you get a first big pop. That's usually right where resistance is. So you put your stop right above that, and then you go to bed. And if it gets hit, it gets hit. And if it doesn't, then it keeps going lower. In this case, so far, a lower high. But yeah, so we did roll over from there. Lower volume, we went, so we had high volatility, went to low volatility, then increasing volume to the downside here, but then some additional accumulation and another distribution. So not much has changed, although there is some, and someone said it earlier, there is support at 30K. There should be support at 30K. There should be a good amount. So we held 30K here for a month, or was it, I think it was 2 months actually. Yeah, so we held 30K here for 2 months. There should be support here. We had capitulation here. So again, there should be support here. But if this gives way, that is a huge, huge negative signal. If you long down here, kind of what I call a defensive long, you can call it bottom buying, but I like to call it a defensive long because you're really close to your stop. So if that gives way, then you're stopped out and you just kind of let it go, right? But in this area, it's going to be hard to get a big V out of it. Again, with taking macroeconomics into account, and because there's a lot of changing things globally in the economy. If you look at the dollar, DXY on TradingView, basically a mini parabola at this point. Isn't purely parabolic, but it has symptoms of going parabolic here pretty soon. That is a world fleeing to quality. The U.S. dollar is still considered the top quality currency in the world, and so you're seeing a flight to quality here, and that's going across all asset classes. They're selling assets and they're moving into defensive positions, and I guess they're just holding dollars because they're not moving into bonds, they're not moving into metals, obviously not moving into crypto. They're just holding dollars, even with inflation. So I'm not sure. They recently came out with a newer called an I bond, if I'm not mistaken. So Series I savings bond. So I believe this is called inflation bond. So this is pegged to inflation, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe this is a different product than I'm thinking of, but they recently came out with a new one pegged to inflation. Here you go. Initial interest rate on new Series I savings bond is 9.62%. You can buy I bonds at that rate through October 22. So there's a possibility they're going into the I bonds or they're just going into the dollar. But yeah, so through October you can buy this savings bond. So if anyone's looking for a place to throw a large chunk of cash, and you're really worried about the macro environment right now, which I don't blame you. I'm not. You guys know me. If you've watched me, I'm not a doomsday person, but this is a different time. This is a different time, and the macro should be respected. So if you're nervous about something, I say this is a great bet. 9.62% in this type of environment is not a bad thing. So you can look into doing that if you want. I believe Treasury Direct is legitimately direct to the Treasury, and I think this is where you have to buy these. So if you're interested in that, I mean, there you go. It's not, US. You can't put USDT into here. You'd have to buy dollars, and I'm not sure if you can buy this outside of the US. I'm not sure. You'll have to look into that, but 25, any amount to the penny from $25 to $10,000. So yeah, it looks like you've got to. Looks like do your research on this, see if it's for you. But I believe there was a holding period. You have to hold it for a year or 6 months or something like that. But there's a flight to quality with the dollar going up this high. Obviously, Bitcoin out of flight to quality. If you look at the GLD, which is the gold index in the stock market, recently dropped from 185 down here to 172. Obviously, they're not going into metals. And if you look at the NASDAQ, they're obviously not going to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ in the middle is selling off. Market's already in a correction, as we know. So a lot of defensive stuff happening right now. Lots of defensive stuff happening. I don't think I looked at the UST stop trading. Really? You haven't checked your chain link in over a year? Well, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. It's not in the top 20 anymore. It got dropped off at some point. I dropped it off my list today. So, Diego, you're a macro, not a trader. You're a macro, not a trader or a day trader. Well, you're a trader of some sorts. You can say you're a macro trader, but you're definitely a trader of some sorts if you're buying and selling. You've got to make decisions about assets, so you're a trader of some fashion. A follower guy that says Bitcoin has broken the 100-week moving average twice in its history. Every time it did, it went down to the 200-week moving average. Okay, let's take a look at that. Sorry, I think that comment was there earlier. That's okay. Let's take a look at it. Real moving averages. You said 100 week and 200 week. So let's do MA3 and MA4. Okay, so there's your MA3, there's your MA4. Your MA4, which is your 200, takes you down to 22,000 at this time. So, yeah, we broke the 100 here at 36. And let me go to the derivative. If you guys are unaware, you can hit BTC USD, look for the index or trading view, and it's supposed to give you a chart goes all the way back to the beginning, or at least as much data as they could get, all the way back there to 6-cent Bitcoin. How many of you guys bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin at 6 cents? Raise your hand. Nobody? Okay. So here we broke and we went down. Here we broke. Did not. We broke to the upside, so that doesn't count. Okay. Broke, we go down. Broke, we go. Oh, actually, you know what? Every time we break that, it looks like it goes straight down. Look at that. Straight down there. Straight down there. Straight. That is a no-go. So I actually, Bitcoin has changed its behavior since this bear market. This is Bitcoin's actually second bear market. There was another bear market right here. See the circle? Because I talked about this the other day. We looked at bear markets that dropped about 50% in the middle of or after a top. You go into a bear market. Happened here and happened here. These are the two bear markets that Bitcoin has been in with a 50% drop after some type of a high. Right? So here's 20K, we go down, we come up, and then we go into a bear market. Very unusual price action. Not completely unprecedented as we saw, but definitely unusual price action. And then, anyway, so this was a time where it did breach, but didn't quite meet that criteria, although later it did. So if you want to call that a hit, I guess I won't blame you too much for that. So yeah, not too bad right there. So this takes us down to 22. Could it be going down to it could be going down to 20K. I mean, obviously, it has the potential to spike underneath of that 200 weekly moving average. So, I mean, look, we've got targets. There's so much price action happening up here. There's targets about every $4,000 to $5,000 between here and 10K. There's tons of price targets. It's hard to say which one is the most valid price target. It really is. Now, 20,000, there should be a little bit of, you would assume there should be a little more psychological support at around 20,000, which is close to 19. We could easily spike down to 19. Most of these are large spikes as we get through that 100. So yeah, that's a pretty good observation. These aren't things I typically follow, but yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. That's pretty good. I'm not mad at all. So yeah, so that gets us down to 22, maybe 19. That does hold up my trend line here that I have drawn. What do I have here? Looks like I have a big, broader upward sloping channel based off of these wicks and those wicks. That matches okay. Okay, not my favorite trend line. But, hey, what up, Ian? How you doing, bud? I know, long time. Potential gold cup and handle, Jake? Let's check out that. Yeah, big cup and handle. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Well, it has yet to break out. I mean, will it at some point? Definitely is possible. So this would, by definition, be a high handle. Your handle should be underneath the left side of your cup. Obviously, it is not in this case, so this would technically be what's called a high handle. Still valid, but a little bit more rare. And then could this spike up at some point? It could. Maybe not today. I mean, gold runs on its own time scale, basically like a snail. And so from that perspective, you're going to have to give this a bunch of time. I mean, you would hope that one of these trend lines holds. I mean, gold just moves so slow in reality. And it's right there flirting with that trend line too. So there's a lot on the chart here to be to like and not to like at this level. So we're getting choppy right now. Again, there's a lot of global macro stuff going on here. Look at that. Look at that big candle at the top right there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that selling pressure. That is big boy trading. That's not your grandma buying gold. That is your grandma's rich F boy buying that or selling that pop right there. So gold is definitely a tricky one right now. A lot of people looking to buy gold on dips, and their dips just got dipped. And, you know, hard to say exactly where it's going to stop. But, I mean, you would hope one of these trend lines holds. Maybe you could try to tighten it up, give up the wicks a little bit. But I think I'll go like that just for safety reasons. All right, let's jump back to BTC real quick, see what's going on. And bring back in. Oh, here's a 2 hour. See, I'm not used to this. All right, so Bitcoin, a little bit of distribution in that candle. We're trying to creep our way up here right now in the 15-minute. This is a 15-minute chart. And we'll see if we're able to rally back on up. This could be considered a small undercut and rally. Pretty good volume signatures. But look at the volume aggregation tool. It shows quite a bit of selling pressure. But this isn't the end-all of tools. I'll just admit that here right now. It's a good secondary kind of a way to read volume from a broader perspective in terms of accumulation and distribution. But it of course isn't, you know, the end-all of everything. Luna now up 24%. Today, Luna well off of these lows. Luna came down dramatically, pretty close to actually the first low of this trend line, which is a really rational place for this to stop. Got within about 10% of that low, maybe a little more, 12% of that level. So, man, Luna can be very volatile. Look at that big drop, and then it came back in a dramatic fashion. And we'll see what happens here in a little bit. Oh, I'm still on the weekly chart. Let's go back to the daily. Pretty cool. Tron lately has been kind of in its own little marketplace, doing something similar to Luna yesterday with a very high volume candle, even eclipsing all of these really high volume candles, which was the largest volume it's had in quite some time. So some good action there for Tron. Jumping into the top 20, it was kind of flirting with the top 20 for a bit. It may be slightly technically out of the top 20, but there's like 10 stable coins in there. So I always add a few additional coins, sometimes up to 25. So Tron's at 17, firmly in the top 20. That's all good. Like I've got Litecoin and Uni. Oh, FTT popped up here. This wasn't here earlier today. Bitcoin Cash was there. I don't remember seeing FTT. Otherwise, it'd be up here. Nothing too dramatic. I don't know. That's a tough one. Hard to say exactly why that's up there. One of the best diamond bottoms I've ever seen in a market, and this one failed because the market kind of sucked. That's okay. So yeah, we're seeing these very large high volume candles across the market, and we're seeing some bounces right now, but what you're looking for now is follow through. Any kind of follow through. Anything other than lower lows and lower highs. You're looking for something. If you don't get that something, then it's really hard to have a bullish bias in this market. It's really going to be comfortable or uncomfortable holding longs. It's going to be uncomfortable because you're going to get chopped up. And, you know, if you bought low, fantastic. No problem. Someone said they bought it 29.9, I think. Phenomenal buy. Absolutely phenomenal purchase. Just make sure you have your stop loss. That's all I'm saying. Make sure you have your stop loss. Whatever it is, if you want to give it an arbitrary 10%, that's something you can do if you want to do that. But at the end of the day, you do have to limit your risk in some fashion. Because here's the thing. This is called catching a falling knife. In a nutshell, catching a falling knife. I mean, if you bought it kind of after the bottom was asserted, that's not quite catching a falling knife, although it is still similar to that. It's difficult to pick the exact bottom right as it happens because you get action like this, and then in many cases when selling is this extreme, it continues to roll over. So while it's ballsy, the ballsy traders are the ones that get rewarded, right? So it's gonna be really good, or it's gonna be a stop loss. So there you go. What up, Batman? Hit the like button. Was that you, Batman, that mentioned that? I didn't see you were here, Batman. I would have said something. I'm not sure if that was you or not. UST graph explains what happened to Luna. UST? I'm on Forex. UST, USDT? Oh my goodness. What? So, holy crap. What the hell happened? Wow. That is a graph. How to short a stablecoin. Jeez, that is. No, I know what it is. I know what it is. I'm just. So someone said that UST stopped trading or got delisted. It looks like there's still some ticks happening on this. So I'm not sure what the exact dynamic is, but what you should have done, Craig, is put stablecoin in quotations like this. That's what you should have done. I would, because I don't think Tether's had a 40% downswing. I have, for some reason, I have two charts of Tether up here. Don't ask me why. That is a 5% downswing, a little bit less than 5%. This one goes for 15% and gets some obligatory crazy spike. Oh, that's a crazy spike up right there. Jeez. Oh, someone got screwed on Tether up here selling. What? How did Tether go for $1,000? Wow, somebody really screwed up. Talk about a fat finger trade. So who do you know that got fired in May of 2019? Because it's probably the guy that fat fingered that thing. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe they gave him a second chance because he rebought it at $394. Oh, I'm just having too much fun now. Wow. But yeah, that's crazy. UST, USDT. That's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. Not sure if I'm going to be advocating to be buying this. Something like that. Geometry class drawing squares? Yeah, right. My goodness. That is crazy. But as we saw a little bit ago, the TVL and Terra, just a couple days ago was up here upwards of $20 billion. Now at 10, it's been cut in half. Absolutely cut in half. That is crazy. Wow. See, I'm not fully sure with what happened, but I'm fully sure that Luna doesn't like it. If that's the case, then you would argue that these are dead cat bounces in Luna. As a matter of fact, if you do look at this chart, while this does look like a bottoming candle, and by definition it is a bottoming candle, you may have a short-term top right here, simply due to the fact that fundamentally, if Luna's basically done, this coin is still way too high. Hey guys, I hate to do this here. Hold on a couple of minutes. I will be right back. All right, apologies about that. Sometimes things cannot be helped. Okay. All right, yeah, so we're talking about dead cat bounce on Luna, and that may go for BTC as well. One thing we were talking about this morning, uh, is the fact that how we got down to 30K is in of itself a bit of a concern. So when you're looking at a market like this, it is Jonah. What's up, Jonah? How are you Master Transformers 2? Did somebody already have that name? That's very strange. So everyone said hi to Jonah. That's my nephew. So there'll be no more cursing on this show apparently. How you doing, bud? All right. So yeah, but just the way how we got down here, like I said, in of itself is a bit of a concern. So we have, so here's our bear flag. Here's our bear flag that our big bear flag here, and the drop back down, while pretty dramatic. Before we had the drop today, we were sitting at just under 34. So we were already pretty close to 30K. When you're that close to a resistance or a support level, you can flip this on its head and call it a resistance level. When you're that close to it and you get a spike down, there's always a possibility for another one. Always another possibility for another one. Because if we were up here and then we spike down, you know, that could be a capitulative move. Actually, the volume yesterday was pretty good. Wow. Oh, I'm on Coinbase. How's it? Let's look at all these exchanges. Wow, that's pretty big too. Hey, what up, Georgie? Oh, hey, Georgie. Are you in Slack, Georgie? I mentioned that after the show today, I wanted to get with you and get you that webinar, the copy of that webinar. I didn't see Georgie in Slack, so if you want to send me a message, I can get that to you. I gotta find it first, but there's like almost 1,100 people in Slack, and so I didn't know which one is you. So thanks, yeah. Made you 5,000 in 2017 sell off. He called the 10K or 12K bottom and bull trap. Yeah, yep, those were fun times. Those were fun times. Yeah, I was off the 10K bottom. I was off by like 1,000. I said it was 11.5, but it spiked all the way down to 10.5. That was that the 1022. That may have been the 1222, the one that I recorded. Yeah, that's on my channel. If you guys go to my channel, search 12-22, you'll see a live capitulation bottom in action, and you'll be able to see me buy it in real time and yell like a little schoolgirl, because that was a lot of fun. An even bigger flag, Georgie? You talking about the whole thing? Well, technically, this would be a bull flag, Georgie, right here. This would be a bull flag because the preceding trend is up. When the preceding trend is up, when you flag out, that's a bull flag. In this one, the preceding trend is down, so it's a bear flag. And the measured move of this bear flag, I think we said was to 18, right? Is that what this one was? Depends where you get it from. Yeah, I think I took it from there. It's about 18, 19,000. If you go from here, it's down to 18,000. Like I said earlier, there are so many targets vis-a-vis all of this price action. There's a big head and shoulders. There's a small head and shoulders. There's another head and shoulders. There's a bear flag. There's genuine support levels of horizontals. There's so much price action for so many levels going down that it's really hard to say exactly which one is going to get hit. Going back to the volume of what we looked at a little bit ago, that is a pretty massive volume candle. I was pretty zoomed in the other times I looked at it, but with this context in mind, that could be a little bit of a bottom for us for a while. If it consolidates and does a small bear flag down here for a few days or even a week or so, that would be very bad. If we just really made a definitive bear flag, something like this, that would clearly be bad, and everybody would be crapping their pants. That could bring, if that happens, could bring an undercut and rally situation. There's so many possibilities right now. Someone earlier was alluding to 2017. This is not nearly as clear cut and dry as 2017 by a long shot. But one thing is clear is that we are in a downtrend. The one question is 30K going to hold? Definitively, is it going to hold? If it's going to get wicked down and comes back up, that's okay. If it breaks, then it's not okay at all. Humpback whale problem? Which humpback whale problem? I haven't heard of that one. You talk about all of this going on up here? Is that what someone's calling a humpback whale? We actually liken this to Wyckoff, another Wyckoff distribution pattern up here. Possible. I mean, I'm not completely. It doesn't fully fit the model, but it doesn't fully negate it either. Nick says, I thought 12K bottom if we had reached this stage last year. Now I think no lower than 15 or 18. Well, you're kind of splitting hairs there, Nick. It's not too much going on in terms of difference between 18 and I guess 18 and 12 would be a 50% coming up from 12, so maybe a bit more difference there. But I mean, look, you could easily come all the way back here to 12K, just from a strictly support and resistance perspective. You don't even have to look at this from a chart pattern perspective. If you just go native support and resistance, we can go to the weekly chart to make things a little more concise. These are your levels from support and just a genuine support and resistance perspective. Yeah, basically. I mean, maybe there's two of them. You could spike to the top right there. So yeah, you could probably argue 3. But those are I'll just say those 3 levels. So you're at 20K, 19.5, 13.9, 12.1, 12.2. Those would be your 3 levels from support and resistance standpoint. There's a lot pointing down here towards the around the 20,000 level. There's a lot of stuff pointing down here around 20K. You've got this bear flag measure move at 18. You've got the 20K top over here. A lot of stuff is pointing you down here. Here's that 200 weekly moving average, which I think Diego point that out? Somebody pointed that out. Going down there, and so I mean, I'm down to 20K would be very normal. Obviously, it would suck. It'd be a 50% or almost a 50%, 33% decline from 30K. But yeah, in reality, it's gonna damage a lot of charts if you move down here. This arbitrary trend line here wouldn't exist, and we would be living with a different type of a paradigm in terms of trend. And it is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna cry over unspilled milk. Yeah, and then Luna now up 19%. Still working in the paradigm of its resistance, though. Yeah, I could see a potential mini bull flag out of this one. The volume signature is wrong, but not that wrong. Well, I don't know. This Luna thing is very interesting right now. I wonder if that's one of the reasons why the market sold off so hard. Could be. Hex is still negative. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for me, guys. I just want to jump on real quick, see if you guys had any questions or anything like that. Market days like these are good to jump on and cut my teeth with the public live streams again, try to get back in the mix. And yeah, answer any questions you guys have. But it looks like questions have kind of died down a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to bounce out unless you guys have anything else. I still think defensive is the way to play this out. I don't think being too aggressive to the long side. If you bought that ultimate bottom, that's fantastic. No issue with that. If you bought that bottom and you already tried to buy 4 other bottoms, then it's going to be tough because you can't be trying to buy that many bottoms. You really have to pick your spots. I'm not 100% certain we found that level yet. I would rather get in on a reversal to the upside than try to pick the ultimate bottom. While it does feel good psychologically, it doesn't do you any good technically because every time you try, you're going to end up with a stop loss. And that's going to hurt you eventually. Yeah, for sure, Diego, for sure. Going to be dying DC over the next 2 years before the next halving? There you go. Not mad at that strategy. I'm not going to be mad at you. Blue whale, killer whale. Nice. Dippity dip dip, seat tight. We going down. That's what Iceberg's thinking. Thoughts on Litecoin? Litecoin. Who cares about Litecoin, Mexican Charlie Lee? I'm just gonna say it. And I have nothing against Litecoin as a technology. I actually think it's a pretty good technology. Lightning Network, all that, blah blah blah. But look at the price action. It is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. So throw away Litecoin. Just throw it away. That's my take on Litecoin. Yeah, we do still follow it with the top 20. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be in the top 20. Technically, it's number 21, but like I said, we have like 8 stable coins in the top 20, so I don't count those. So I always go a little bit deeper into the top 20. But Litecoin is one of those that is slowly eroding itself away. And every time it tries to take a leadership position, it gives it up immediately. That type of price action shows you that people that are in the know do not care about Litecoin. And that's really the major consideration in this environment. Because if the people in the know that run these funds and have this money aren't going to buy Litecoin, you're not going to make money with it. Full stop. Thoughts on Hex? Hex was looking good until, well, yesterday, which is kind of still today, but yeah, Hex was looking okay until then. So Hex has been in this kind of bear flag right here as well. Hex has a very large head and shoulders pattern on it. Tried to break down here. Couldn't quite do it. We haven't negated the head and shoulders, so we still could fully fledge that out, which takes you down to 3 cents on Hex. So full disclosure, I do have a Hex position, so I'm not a fan of it going down to 3 cents. But that's what the chart's implying in terms of this head and shoulders pattern and the measured move. One of the ways it's doing that is with really declining volume. Now, this is supposed to be a Uniswap chart via TradingView, so I'm not exactly sure if this volume is 100% accurate. If it is, the volume is dried up substantially, and you're not seeing nearly as much support as you would hope to see in something like this. If you go back to Hex's other kind of corrections, you know, obviously garbage volume here too. This is why I'm saying I'm not sure if I can trust the volume. But you go down over here and you go down, but see the volume generally declines. And but now we're printing bearish patterns. These are not bearish patterns. These are just some consolidation. Some are actually downright bullish. And but now it's a whole different situation. You've already got a lower high, head and shoulders on top of you. It's not a good look. Not a good look at all. Thoughts on Hex? Our Richard made a fortune on ETH, folks. Traded for it. Richard made a fortune is right. That dude made so much money on quite a few things. And I'm not even talking disparagingly about the guy, to be quite honest with you. He just made a fortune on a lot of stuff. Great marketer, doesn't shut up. Because for some reason, people like people that won't stop talking. Which is really weird when you think about it. So I'm sure we all have that one person at work that you're like, dude, just shut up and do your damn job. I don't want to hear what you have to say. But then you get guys like Richard Hart talking all kinds of crap out of the, left, right, and center out of his mouth, and people eat it up. So yeah, definitely unique situation we find ourselves in with something like Hex. And his Pulse chain coming out at some point. I guess it's in a testnet phase, supposedly. I don't know for sure. And then he's got another one that he was doing too. I forget what that one is. So I guess at some point some other projects are going to come out, but it's a tough one right now. But the price action wise on Hex, the uptrend is done. I could draw a couple more trend lines on here too to really hammer that point home. But the uptrend here is definitely done. And you're just looking to see how far down it's going to go. Like I said, we got measured moves down to 3 cents. Which you can't argue against that for Hex. Hex has seen obviously much, much lower prices. And that would still be a higher low regardless. And I know for a lot of those people staking Hex and have really long-term stakes on it, they're going to hold it no matter what. So it is what it's going to be. Pulse Chain is going to launch this month. Yee, that's going to be a tough one. Hard to launch anything in the midst of a bearish environment. Really difficult to do that. And people are going to view it as an instant. Because people only view changes as a success if the price goes up. I mean, let's just be honest. That's just the way people view things. People view success in terms of price, in terms of market cap, which also implies price going up. So it's going to be interesting. And I know Richard Hart thinks 10K BTC as well. He thinks we're going down to 10K BTC. I watched one of his videos or part of one of his videos. I never watched the whole damn thing. It's too freaking long. And he thinks we're going down to 10K. And I don't really have a major issue with that once we break 30K. Definitively. Clever guy. Enjoy listening to Richard. His original idea of staking has now been copied many times. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was his original idea for staking, but he definitely implemented it, and it was one of the first big staking coins to have full traction because he built it into Hex. So obviously Hex is a working cryptocurrency. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It does what it does, and it does it well. So, you can't really fault the blockchain for working at all. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due on that one. No problem with there. And we got a question on XLM, the little chain that could, or a little chain that could not. I haven't even read your comment yet, but I'm not a fan of XLM. Neither is the market generally. Since XLM did not make a higher high in this last bull run, is that bearish long-term pattern? It's bad all around. It's bad all around. So here's the thing with technology, and this goes for XLM or basically anything, okay? You have your front runners and you have your laggard copiers, and then you have new technology. Your front runners are Ethereum and Bitcoin. Those are your front runners. Those got traction first, arguably great quality products, okay? And the market's running on them. They're number 1 and 2 in terms of market cap. Those are indisputable facts, and those are your leaders. Everything else is a copycat. I don't care if you like Solana. I don't care if you like Cardano. I don't care if you like Luna. I don't care what you like. It doesn't matter. Those are all copycats. All copycats will not do as good, at least from the they will not do as good as the leaders in the big run, in the bigger picture. Okay, they just will not do as good. XLM was a copy of XRP, and look where XRP is. Look where XLM is. XLM is a copy. So while it's going to have bull runs like any other coin, right? But it's a follower. It's not going to lead the market. I don't think you can expect a Stellar to run back up to $3 real quick at any point in time. I just don't think it's going to happen. So what you're dealing with if you're looking at investing in something like XLM, and I know a lot of people that have stakes that they call themselves holders and all these other copies of coins, but the problem is those coins don't survive. They don't survive. Look at, and this goes through history. I mean, any copy of the original fails at some point. It could take a long time for it to legitimately, go away and fail, but all they do is taking space. They're just taking up space. So Solana's taking up space from ETH, Cardano's taking up space from ETH, Luna's taking up space from ETH, AVAX taking up space from ETH, DOT taking up space from ETH, Tron taking up space. Like, go down the list, all of them, every single one of them. Legacy shitcoin is a great way to put it. But then, like I said earlier, then you have, I forget the term I used, so you have the originals, the copies, then you have the new technology. At some point, there will be new technology that displaces in some way, shape, or form in Ethereum and or Bitcoin. Okay? At some point in time. It'll sound blatantly obvious, but you won't believe it. And I was talking to somebody about this thing the other day exactly. So, you talk, and usually the originals have this quality. When you first heard about Bitcoin, maybe you didn't believe it. Maybe it was something that you had to have explained to you. But eventually you believed it, right? Eventually, like, okay, I get this. Ledger, transfer, secure, unhackable. Good, I get it, let's go, right? Once you get it, you get it. And it seemed very common sense. And so, and then Litecoin copied, and then all these other coins copied, right? And you have Ethereum, World Computer. Okay, you don't know what that means, but it sounds cool, and it's a way to do stuff on a blockchain, which Bitcoin's a blockchain, right? So it's kind of obvious, but you have to believe it. And it's really hard to believe them early on. Like, really early on, it's really hard to believe. And then you have all the copies. And they go on their bull runs, and that's fantastic. But the originators, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and that's why you see the differences in market caps. It's just what it is. So everyone builds on Ethereum because if you're going to learn to write something on a blockchain, you're going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum, more than likely. Like if you were to put 1,000 programmers into a room, 700 of them are going to choose Ethereum, and the others are going to be split between the other coins. So majority of people are going to cut their teeth on Ethereum, and a bunch of other people are going to a couple others are going to learn this, a couple others are going to learn that, and then 5 or 6 of them are going to try to write a new blockchain. It's just the way that it goes. Eventually, they will write maybe a different version of Ethereum that works in a slightly different way that has definite advantages over Ethereum, and that one will rise to the top at some point as well. But it will be obvious once again, but no one will believe it. And that's how these things work time and time and time again. You look at it through the stock market, throughout companies, throughout history. In order to be knowledgeable, and I would even argue, long-term successful in this, you have to understand some of these concepts, and you have to go back and do your own due diligence and do your own homework, and you'll be like, damn, yeah, Randy's right. It's absolutely right. These things are blatantly obvious up front, but no one believed them. Like Tesla, blatantly obvious. It was blatantly obvious, but you have to have enough confidence in it to put money in it, right? Nvidia, Intel, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, all these things were Amazon. Who can remember back to the year 2000, unless you're super young? Who can remember back to the year 2000 and going, oh, buying stuff on internet, that's kind of cool. But isn't that blatantly obvious that's where it would go? You know what I mean? So Amazon and then Apple, blatantly obvious, great technology. Who knew they would come, blockbuster after blockbuster, but blatantly great. Microsoft, blatantly obvious. Intel ran with Microsoft. Nvidia, Netflix. I remember back in the day, Netflix, I had a choice to invest in Netflix. Well, it really wasn't. I guess it was a choice, but it really wasn't a choice. There was Netflix, and there was another competitor prior to Netflix. I forget the name of it right now, but they were doing video streaming over the internet. I'm like, oh, that's pretty damn dope. So I put some money in that, and I don't think I even knew about Netflix at the time. Obviously, that thing went bust, and then Netflix, a couple of years later, started coming to the market. I'm like, yeah, I already invested in that, and that didn't work out. And then obviously, I missed out on that. But these blatantly, part of it is a little bit of luck of the draw in terms of what you believe to invest in, but you have to see the vision and believe in the vision early on. But all these other things are just copycats, just blatant copycats. And they're going to have runs, they're going to have moves, and that's fine. But bigger picture, when you ask about XLM, no thanks. Just not a thing. GRT USD a good buy now? Nothing's a good buy right now in my estimation, so I will say no on that. Absolutely not. This is not a good buy. This is basically a copycat of Chainlink. So I don't think it's a good buy. It's also sitting, look at this chart. It's sitting at the low. Oh wow, looks like it. No, never mind. Not quite the low, but debuted at 3 cents. It's up here at 24 cents. So I still think it has a little bit more to go. FTM has to be a good buy here. I guess it just depends if you believe the market's bottomed. Not whether FTM is bottomed, whether the market has bottomed. If you haven't figured this out yet, the markets run together. All these stupid coins do the same thing. If you haven't noticed that, got to open your eyeballs, because they all run together. They're all green together. They're all red together. A great amount of time. When you have big moves in the market, they're all the same color. That's it. So if you're going to buy Phantom right now, you have to think the whole market's bottomed. If you love Phantom and you're looking to buy a bottom, you're going to find yourself an excuse to buy a bottom. Same way with GRT. If somebody was mentioning GRT, if you want to find an excuse to buy, you'll always find an excuse to buy. If you want to keep an open mind about it, you realize it's not a great time to buy. It is what it is. And if you don't believe that, then you haven't spent enough time in the markets yet. Because there's lots of, you can always find a reason to buy. So there you go. BTC and ETH pushed the markets. Yeah, BTC and ETH are the markets. They just are. That's it. They are the markets. Everything else is just trying to find a better way to build a blockchain. but none have, not yet. Some have alternative uses that are different from Ethereum, but Ethereum could host them because of its nature. Everything in cryptocurrency on the screen here could be run through Ethereum. So there's nothing that can't run on Ethereum. Like Ethereum can't run on Bitcoin. If Ethereum could run on Bitcoin, Ethereum would be a copy, right? So therefore, cryptocurrency is all Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everything else, everything Solana does can be done on Ethereum, just not as fast, right? Everything on AVAX, everything on Cardano could be done on Ethereum, just not as fast. The road ahead says, good point. Never going to time the exact bottom, though. Yeah, look, there's only a very few. If you're looking to time an exact bottom, you're looking at a capitulation event. Now, there are mini capitulations, but a true capitulation event is where the market drops dramatically so. And we actually took a look at this today. Where's my list? Most capitulations. So we looked at all the capitulations in the market in like the past 4 or 5 years. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of them. 8 capitulative moves, 31%. This is percentage down in one day. 31, 39, 35, 26, 29, 33, 42, 34. That was peak to trough in that day. Peak to trough in that day, you got at least, I'd say your average is like 33%. 33, 34% would be your average drop on a capitulative day. If the market is down over 20%, you could be looking at a capitulation event, and then you're looking for bottoming action. Okay, that is the only way you're going to try to buy the bottom, and you're gonna no one's going to get that exact bottom dollar amount down to the penny, but you're going to get it down there within a few percentage points. Other than that, bottoms can be very, very difficult to time unless you're in a very choppy situation with definitive range bound, definitive ranges, or you just do that a lot. I know some guys can time bottoms very well in the short term because they do a lot of it, and that's cool too. Video lagging a little. Looks okay on my side. Maybe refresh there, Roscoe. Or Roscoe? Yeah, it looks like Roscoe. Nick says, but whilst everything is paired to Bitcoin, which itself is still heavily manipulated to produce big swings, we have a significant wait, I think, before we are free from such volatility. Incorrect, Nick. I disagree with you on basically all of your points. I do not necessarily believe that Bitcoin is heavily manipulated. I don't necessarily believe that. It is so difficult to manipulate a large market. So people don't understand, and when people talk about manipulation, I don't think they even understand what true manipulation is. It's not manipulation. Anytime you're buying or selling an asset, what you're doing is you're taking money from your account and you're giving it to another party, and you're doing something on their platform, and you don't have control over that platform. So by definition, what you're doing is spending actual money, or actually just selling whatever the buying or selling pressure may be. Yeah, but a small exchange isn't going to push a big exchange, Diego. I intend to ladder my buys every 1K sub 20K down to 12K. Expect it reaches that low. It may only be for days. Okay. Yeah, I'm not mad at that strategy, Nick. That's a good strategy. There's lots of good strategies to deal with markets in more extreme downtrending environments. If you remember, when the markets dropped below 6K, before 6K, I was not advocating dollar cost average buying, because above 6K, first of all, there was a pretty good floor in at 6K, so you knew that was being supported, but we hadn't moved into a bull market yet. So, but once we got sub 6K, you're like, okay, now you can start buying in, because you've broken a heavy point. You're down so much percentage wise at that point. It makes a lot of sense. So I'm really not mad at that about if you want to DCA back into BTC under 20,000, if that's your floor for that. I think that's a wise strategy. What I would challenge you to do though is say, okay, let's say Bitcoin holds at 30K. What is your strategy then? Just explore that option, and because if you already have your strategy, so you ain't doing nothing anyways. May as well do that and just prepare yourselves for all kind of eventualities. Manipulation can occur on a small exchange. Yeah, maybe to a point. I would agree with that. Yeah, to a point. I saw ADA go from $1 to 15 cents in 30 minutes on Kraken, and on every other exchange there was no big drop in Cardano. I watched this in real time and bought some Cardano. Oh, cool! As it was happening, it went back up to 95 in about 40 minutes of trading. Wow, that's pretty. That's interesting. I like that. Okay, so what you did, or I guess what you were witness to, I guess. Look. It's still not manipulation. Let me tell you why. Okay. Um, it still goes by the same principles which I just explained. So, but if you're a smart trader, okay, if you're a smart trader and you know, not even as an individual, you're you have a team. Okay, let's say you're part of a trading team, which would be really fun, by the way. Let's say you're part of a trading team, okay, and you look at an exchange, and you're right, a smaller exchange will be perfect for this, and this is why they target the small exchanges. Or even if you're just a super smart individual, good at coding and stuff like that, right? But enough to do some additional labor for you. If you can model the order book of stop loss orders and order book orders on that exchange, and if you can find a way to drop that with your own money, if you know, let's say you say, okay, if I sell 20 Bitcoin, I can go get 50 Bitcoin at a much lower price. That isn't, if you want to call that manipulation, I guess you could call it manipulation. But it's not manipulation in my mind. It's just looking at the situation and doing something logical. And it sucks. Like, I'm not going to say that that's going to be a good thing. I'm not going to say that's something that everybody wants somebody else to do. But it's taking advantage of the market. And that's one reason why you don't invest in thin markets. Because of exactly those types of behaviors. Because I mean, that is a known thing. Yeah, stop loss hunting, exactly. But what I'm trying to, and that's why I went long form on it, is because I'm trying to explain. You can call it manipulation, but it's more like stop loss hunting. It's understanding liquidity in the environment in which you are operating and making, like, money making decisions, which we all try to do that to some extent. Not necessarily stop loss hunting, but we're all trying to make a best judgment in our estimation, about how to make a profit. And for those people, it's a slightly different ballgame. They're not looking at the price chart, they're looking at the order book. But it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So if they're manipulating the market, we are all manipulating the market. So you're all market manipulators. You're horrible people. But I mean, do I like stop hunting? Hell no. Nobody likes to be stopped. I've been stop hunted. I mean, and whether it's a stop hunt on purpose or it's a organic stop hunt. And by an organic stop hunt, I mean, one person sells because he wants to, and another party buys up that order because he wants to. Like, that would just be an organic stop hunt. You have to argue not every one of these dips to the downside is a stop hunt organized by the same people. There are organic stops. There are people that say, okay, if this dips, let's just take this low for an instance. So here, we got a low on this candle of 34,008. That goes, okay, if this thing goes below 34,000, I'm buying, and it goes below 34,000, and the other dude starts buying. Like, is that manipulation? No, it's just this undercut and rally, kind of an organic undercut and rally. I mean, could someone else, have orchestrated that? I guess there's a possibility. I missed a comment I wanted to look at here. Oh, Patrick. What's up, Patrick? If Bitcoin breaks 30K, where would you personally buy? Um, I don't have a set level for that quite yet, Patrick. I'm looking at about the 20K level, but so when it comes to me, like I'm not going to put a limit order on an exchange at 20K and then go on vacation. That's not how I operate. Okay, it's just not what I do. Um, I'll ascertain price action at certain key levels, and I'll see if it's doing what I look for in a bottom. So I'm essentially looking for a bottom. I'm not necessarily looking for a level, if that makes sense. Because if you're looking for a level, you're going to make an excuse to buy at that level, and there's always an excuse to buy. So I want to look at the price action and uh, make an asserted judgment about price action versus buying at a specific level. Do you ever look at the ETH BTC pair? I do look at the ETH BTC pair, but I'm putting less and less weight on the ETH BTC pair. Let me tell you why. It's because of what we just discussed. It's because we discussed that Bitcoin and Ethereum are the cryptocurrency markets. They're number one and number two. They do different things, and they're going to run up and down together in the same way that like an Amazon and an Apple would. So let me show you something real quick. Look at a chart of Amazon and Apple over the past decade. Would you have made any money trading this particular pairing? The answer is maybe a little bit, but not really. I mean, there's a little bit of a run over here, but not much. Going all the way back here to like 2005, which is even over 10 years. So again, Apple and Amazon, two completely different things. But, via TradingView, we can now put them on a chart where that would have been really difficult to do before. And, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they do completely different things. Amazon and Apple, completely different things. Both are behemoths in the markets. And so that's why I made this comparison. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to compare the two anymore, I don't think. While I do look at it, I don't think it's relevant anymore. ETH BTC. You're not going to get a flippening, I don't think. And it doesn't even matter if you do, to be honest with you, because they're just kind of paired together. One's going to run one time, one's going to run another time, which is what you see during this time frame here. Over these 6 years, they just kind of traded positions, being bullish and bearish, and then here you are, 17 years later, you're right back to where you started. So you are not doing yourself any good trading Amazon for more Apple or Apple for more Amazon. You just buy one or both of them and hold on to both of them, and I think that's the thing to do. So I do look at it, but no, I don't think it's relevant in any way, shape, or form. Not like it used to be. When Bitcoin is a little bit smaller, it used to be that Ethereum would kind of show the way the alts were going to go, but I don't think that's the case anymore. One thing about 30K being the low is that we have an impending banking crisis, and we're not even in a full-blown liquidity crisis yet. I'm not sure about a pending banking crisis. You would have to elaborate what a banking crisis entails. Because from my understanding about the state of banks right now, there's no crisis. Interest rates rising actually makes more money for banks. So I don't think there's a crisis going on there unless I'm unaware of something. Stock market and Bitcoin will go lower when these influential worsening factors occur. Again, not knowing what those factors are. So I can't imagine the low has been reached yet. Don't disagree with that. Generally right now the market is extremely bearish in the traditional markets, and that is bleeding over into cryptocurrency because it's still part of the global economy. Everybody expects, for some reason, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to depeg from the traditional markets, but it's part of the same system. So from that perspective, you have to take the whole system into account. I mean, they're going to have moments where they diverge or even years when they diverge, but when you have a general deleveraging or de-risking of large portfolios, that's what this was, March of 2020. Mukbang Eating Show TV, I guess. It's very surprising to me how ETH hasn't breached this January low of this year and BTC is far below it. Yeah, I mean, look, Ethereum has utility. Bitcoin, I mean, kind of has utility, but not in the same way Ethereum does. Ethereum is a full-blown network with users and ecosystem. I mean, it's a big boy platform at this stage of the game. So the fact it's holding up and the way that staking is going, I saw an article the other day that Ethereum staking was making like made more money than Bitcoin mining. Ethereum stakers make more than Bitcoin miners for like 4 months in a row or something like that. So I mean, that's going to make the Ethereum stakers comfortable. And so therefore, I think there's just lack of selling pressure on Ethereum. So their staking plan is working relatively well. Yeah, sure, traders can push it lower because at the end of the day, it's only about liquidity on exchanges. Keep in mind, with an auction market, it's only about liquidity on exchanges. It has nothing to do with utility of anything. You know, when oil went from 200 down to 0, it's not like people weren't using gas. So yeah, I mean, ETH holding up is a good sign for cryptocurrencies. Is a general adoption as far as general adoption goes. If there was ever a time to wait for confirmation after capitulation, I'd suggest this is it. Well, we haven't capitulated yet, but definitely waiting for confirmation. Over the next 2 years, there will be some good buying opportunities for crypto before the halving. Yeah, yep, looks like we're going to see them. Rip the 2017 top coins, Bitcoin, Cash, Litecoin are dead for good reason, in your opinion. I don't think so. There will be some good buy opportunities in the next 2 years. Thoughts for 200 weekly EMA as support for Bitcoin around 27,000? I don't really have a strong opinion on that one. One way or the other. Going down from here, you have rationale for lots of support levels, lots of measured moves, lots of apparently 200s at 27. We were looking at the 200 regular moving average, which is down here at the weekly moving average, which is down here at 1,800. So it's all over the place, man. It's really all over the place. I mean, there's lots of targets. Again, you don't want to look at a specific level because there's so many. Like I said, there's like every $4,000 or $5,000, you're gonna find an argument for support at that level. So it's not about a specific level. This isn't a guessing game. This is a game of reading the right side of the chart and having good risk management strategies. That's all this is about, this whole game of trading. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not about fortune telling or being right or sounding like you make money on Twitter or whatever the case may be. It's only about those things. That's it. If someone's telling you otherwise, they're lying to you. And they probably haven't, I don't even scream that from the rooftops every day. Maybe they say that, you just don't listen to them every minute of every day. But anyway, at the end of the day, that's what it is, reading the right side of the chart effectively in context of what's happened, and then having, good risk management strategies. What's up, AJ? Where have you been? You rarely come on YouTube these days. Yeah, I do. Market's been just really choppy, and I haven't had a lot to say because it's just had a lot of chop. At the start of the show, it's hard as a YouTuber to come out without anything fun to say. But I do haven't talked about this once during the stream tape. I do have my Real Crypto Power Hour, which I do talk about the markets every single day for you guys that do appreciate my point of view. And would like to have a second, very unbiased perspective, or even to bounce trading ideas off of. Anything you can think of, we talk about during the Crypto Power Hour. It really is a time for you guys to get what you need out of it, whatever you need in the markets. That's what I'm here to help with. And real-crypto.com, click on services, and it's right there. You can go ahead and join us if you want to. We pretty much talk about the markets every day. Right now, we're not doing Saturdays because we got kids soccer, but that's going to end in a few weeks. So we'll be back to 7 days again. What's up with Doge? I don't know. What's up with Doge? There's really not a lot going on right now with most cryptos. So, yeah, I mean, Doge, okay. Doge, SHIB, and CRO are the two coins that should not be in the top 20. Period. They shouldn't be up here. They're all general garbage with nothing really good going on for them. Not that good going on for them. And they're coming down dramatically. Doge is being propped up by Elon, and the people that follow him religiously for some reason are buying Dogecoin. And so, yeah, it's just hanging out. I mean, otherwise it'd be down a lot more. It'd probably be down, 10 cents? It'd probably be down at like 7 cents, 8 cents. Maybe a little more than that. It'd be down a lot more. but it's the Elon show on that one. Listen, the cycle is over, and you should just say it. The cycle? The cycle is over if we kill 30K. And I've said that many times. Just, don't do a lot of public videos anymore, but we have said it here today. We got to hold 30K. We got to hold 30K. If you don't hold 30K, it's a huge problem. It's an absolute massive, massive problem. So we have to hold down here. Otherwise, well, actually, it's 29. It's not even 30K. We did spike down to 29, 28, 8, 29, it looks like. So that's where we have to hold. We have to hold these levels. And, I mean, this really high volume candle, that's pretty, like, I'm not mad at that. I think that's an okay, that's a good candle. I like the volume. I don't like how it closed. But, I mean, I'm willing to accept it. All right, popping up a little bit right now. 367, not too shabby. So, take it for what it is. Yeah, so no confirmation yet, but we are starting to spike up a little bit. We'll see how that holds. Luna's down to only 9% up right now. So Luna doing something different from Bitcoin because it is not Bitcoin. All right, what else we got here? I watched the liquidity crisis grow. Oh, what you got there, Nick? I watched the liquidity crisis grow in September 2019. The repo overnight loans for the bank started at $30 billion, rising to $800 billion. You've seen the $770 billion bailout in 2008. Yeah, I think I remember that. That wasn't the Fed just dumping money in the overnights to keep the rates at whatever they wanted them. I didn't go too deep into that, but that's interesting. If COVID hadn't come along, it is highly suspected some states in the U.S. would have had to declare bankruptcy. That was the next evolution in the bank. I'd like to read more about that, Nick. If you had any links or any, I'd like to read about that because that's interesting. I do remember something about the overnight Fed funds rate. I wasn't very informed about it then. I'm not that much more informed about it now, probably less because it's been a while, but very interesting. Yeah. It's just the Fed trying to control rates and keep things high. I know they were spending a bunch of money to do that, but I never fully grasped the full ramifications of that. So maybe you're onto something. I'm not sure. Doge long term, it's a crypto. It'll treat like every other crypto. Just because Elon likes it doesn't matter. It's going to move with the market. That's it. Point blank and period. Dogecoin has been in the top 20 since like 2014, though. No, it hasn't. Not since 2014. Dogecoin was... No, I don't know when Dogecoin made in the top 20. So, okay. So, for my Crypto Power Hour, which has been going on 3 or 4 years now? I think 4 years. It'll be 4 years in September, I think. So, for 4 years, I followed the top 20 cryptocurrencies. Doge was not in there until 2021. So let's go look at back. That's why Doge was like the best performing crypto of 2021 because it rocketed up into the top cryptos. So let's go to 2021. Let's go into 2020. Let's just take August. And let's see where it is. 35. Number 35. So, I mean, it wasn't in the hundreds. I mean, it was hanging out. Okay, I'm not too mad at it from that perspective. Okay. All right, 35. That's higher than I thought it was going to be. And let's do 20. Let's do kind of right before. It had two big pumps here. So let's go right down here. Let's go November 15th, 2020 and see what's what. See what we got. Hey, we got November 15th. All right. Still 35-ish. Doge. Doge. 45. Okay, so it was losing favor. It wasn't down in the dumps quite yet, but it was definitely losing favor. Yeah, it was losing favor. And then, obviously, Elon started buying it. And it's holding up relatively well. I mean, you got to give it a little bit of respect for this is a level that would be really nice for it to hold. look, as long as Elon keeps talking about it, it's gonna stay up. I mean, look, my neighbors are. I had some neighbors that bought some Dogecoin just because of Elon. They didn't know anything about Dogecoin. Probably still don't know much about Dogecoin because Elon talked about it. They bought it, and I'm sure that story is going to be repeated time and time again. So, but long term, I mean, it's just another crypto. It's a copy of Bitcoin. Whatever. Uh, they reckon Biden is seriously considering wiping the student loan after all because if all declared as defaults, even those could break the system. Last time I heard, the student loan thing was off the table. So he doesn't have the political clout to do something like that. Anyways, that would. I don't know if that would be something. That's not something he can do with a swipe of a pen. That would have to be done legislatively, and he can't get anything through Congress. So I don't think that's going to happen. Do you ever use BTC or ETH future charts for analysis? Any advantage? I don't. I use Binance charts because they're the most liquid exchange. And I use this USD or BTC USD, the index chart. I use this chart because it's supposed to be an amalgamation of all of the Bitcoin charts. So I like that. So I like it. I also do use the futures chart, BTC one exclamation point. I use this. This is the CME futures chart for Bitcoin. This is actually a really good chart to use because it avoids weekends, and it's pretty darn clean. It gives you a nice clean Bitcoin chart. Like here, look at how nice and clean that bear flag is. Super nice, right? So I do use this. I think this is a good one. What up, Monkeytron? Everybody say hi to Monkeytron. You'll lose your job. Well, I'm going to be getting off here pretty soon, bud, so you can go back to sleep. Or whatever the hell you were doing. Biden student loan thing rearing its ugly head again this week. Okay, yeah, I hadn't seen that, but I'll trust you on that one for sure. Oh, that's what you mean, Michael? No, yeah, I actually like this chart. I do like this chart. I think this is a good chart. I hadn't seen this today. I mean, look at how nicely that low was placed here. Beautiful. Look at that right there. Look at that high volume low. I mean, this is gorgeous. There's some good stuff on this chart. There really is. Because they have less time to make the trades. Yeah, sorry, you said Bitcoin futures. I was thinking like a BitMEX or something like that. But you're right. Yeah, this is definitely futures. My bad. Oh, CME gap. Actually, that's what these are. These are CME gap. I just need to expand them out a little bit further to the right, I guess. Yep, there's a bunch of little gaps here and there. We shall. Yeah, we'll see. Good chart though. I like it. I like the futures chart here. It's a good one. Someone mentioned something about did I talk about the UST drama? I did a little bit, but I'm actually not that familiar with it. I didn't know about the UST drama. I don't really follow the news that often, especially in crypto. So I'm not familiar with what happened. Somebody said that they stopped trading UST or something like that. And then we looked at the UST USD chart. And it's a shit show. It's just wow. This is a stable coin pegged at $1, and it's currently at like 76 cents. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. But yeah, I'm not super informed on what happened to that. I'll probably look it up tomorrow before the show. Do you take into account the stocks USD index when going back into BTC? What do you mean by that? Stocks USD index? Like DXY in terms of USD index? Yeah, if you can elaborate that a little bit more, I'll look at a chart or something, but I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Surge Sam, it's brutal, Luna drop. Yeah, it is a brutal drop. Irony, of course, is that we've gone from too little liquidity in the banks in 2019 to too much liquidity after all the money printing. Yeah, right? Yeah, too much. Yep, welcome inflation. In your opinion, how much volume is required for a capitulation? A capitulation is easily the largest volume on the chart. And I mean, this candle we just closed is pretty darn good. I mean, but we've definitely seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as big as this. So technically, like this is a capitulation right here. But it's not about a number, it's about the volume in relation to all the other big candles around it per se. Capitulation should be the largest candle. Now, this is really good volume though. This is exception. This could bottom us out. Like there's definitely a possibility. So this is some of the support at 30K we're hoping for. So an additional attempt to go lower with lower volume yet still big would be good. Similar to what kind of what we did over here. So boom, capitulation. 4 days later, you try to go lower volume but still heavy. That's supported. Try it again. That's supported. Try it. You go even lower. This is an undercut and rally on really good volume, and it ends up green, which is always a positive. So you see there's a consistency here, which is support. And then you try to go down here, there's no selling pressure. And we talked about that during the power hour extensively. So, yeah, once again, if you guys are curious about this stuff, I mean, power hour at $65, you can stay for a month if you want to. If you don't deem it valuable, you know, you don't have to renew or something like that. But, I mean, this is all stuff we talk about constantly. All the time we go over all these scenarios, and a lot more too. So, yeah, real-crypto.com services is how you get into the show if you're interested in that. See what I missed. I feel like I missed something. Here we go. AJ, oh, the DXY. We looked at the DXY. We looked at it actually earlier during this show. We talked about it's in a mini kind of parabola. We'll see if we get a blow off top or not. We'll see if we get a blow off top or not. That would be very interesting to get a blow off top in the DXY. That would arguably be bad. I don't think you want that because this is a flight to quality, and if you're going to get a parabola, you obviously don't want a parabola in a flight to quality because it means that, I mean, the market would probably really be going down at that point, which, I mean, could happen. We had a bad day today. It's supposed to be a stable coin backed by Bitcoin, and in order to repeg it, they said they had to sell Bitcoin. Oh, I know they were buying Bitcoin, but they had to sell it. So they screwed up fundamentally. What they fundamentally screwed up Luna, didn't they? Jeez. See, they had something going with Luna too, and they screwed it up. That sucks. Dead cat bounce growing like a trade tree as we speak. Let's see. Yeah, bouncing up a little bit there. So, you're looking at resistance levels up here. You're looking to see if we're going to be able to get past them. If you see some stalling action, could be good to enter some shorts if you see stalling action. But you can, again, just be a little patient, even on the short time frames. You want to be very clear with your signals. Surge Sam, welcome, Surge. Serge? Surge? Will we be able to rebuy at very low price? Hope it reaches 100,000 as everyone claims. Yeah, it'll get there in time, Sam. It'll get there in time. We're definitely going through a mode right now. It'd be nice to rebuy at some lower prices, but I would still prefer it hold 30K. I can't guarantee that though. I can't guarantee. Like the volume yesterday was really good for a bottom. While it was not definitive capitulation, it was excellent volume that could bottom us out. But we would still probably need to see some retests of 30K and it failed to go lower before that's a little bit more secure. But we'll be following that every day in the show. Every day we talk about the volume. Every day we talk about the price action. Every day we say it's weak or it's not, and we talk over all kinds of scenarios. So if you guys are interested in that, I mean, it's a very small investment for what you're going to lose if you don't make a sound decision. Um, Not capitulation volume. It is not capitulation, but it is big. I do like that. Nick's looking at breach of 20K, then go to 200K. Okay. I'm not mad at that. Within 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. I'm not mad at that at all. Yeah, Nick, you got good time horizons, but I like it. You're rewatching my old live streams last year around March, April, and was noticing similar BTC exit around 55K. So thank you. Very nice. Good job. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very, very good. I don't want to sell to buy lower. I want to wait this crap out. I hear you. What do I think of Solana? Well, I think Solana is a interesting project. I actually talked to someone recently who does a lot of deep diving into the code of these and talks to a lot of developers, and they say Solana's difficult to develop because it's built with Rust. And I know a lot of I'm familiar with programming. Rust is a more difficult language to manage. It's very strictly written, and a lot of programmers don't like that. So it's kind of hard to write on. FTX is backing it, which is probably why it has a lot of traction to it. So we'll see what happens in the next cycle. I mean, it's nice and fast. I mean, I don't know. It's programmers have to like it. Programmers seem to like Ethereum, so it's a little tough. It's a little tough on Solana right now. But I mean, I don't hate it. It's definitely a bit of a paradigm shift from some of the others. So it has a potential to try to be like a second to Ethereum. But, I let price action lead me, and Solana really gave up its leadership quickly and really never gave it back. Gave it up very abruptly, which is usually not a good sign. So, but I'm not hating on Solana, that's for sure. Diego says, "Come on, guys, writing's on the wall. This will roll over the next few weeks or months." There's lots of writing on the wall, and I'm not discounting that. I would say if it rolls over, it'll do so week or month, within a week or two or a month. Yeah, I mean, it could go immediately, but usually what happens is you get kind of a cascade of price action. There's a certain behavior to certain types of price action. And I've had this thought a couple of times, but it's a big project, and I don't know if I'm going to get around to doing it anytime soon. But I want to go through all the different types of market scenarios and lay out all the price action, because a certain price action begets certain scenarios. So we looked today, actually during the power hour, we looked at capitulations and pre-capitulative action. Okay, so there's all kinds of different scenarios, and I mean, this is one that could stop this market dead in its tracks, that type of behavior. So, and I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it does. But like I said, it's hard to buy bottoms right now because you don't have any clear follow through. What level would Tesla be a buy? Full disclosure, I'm a massive Tesla fan, and I do have a very large Tesla position. Big believer in the company. I think it's already in pretty decent levels, but I think the market's going to discount it further. So I would probably, again, wait for better price action, wait for some bottoming action. I mean, if it gets down to 500, that is a clear buy in my, like 550, I guess. That would be a super clear buy in my book. If we do go into a full-blown bear market, which is fully possible, we could get that. And you're going to see some generational buys in a lot of different stocks, including Tesla, which is going to have most of the growth, for the next several 5-year stretches. Half decades, whatever you want to call them. But I think Tesla, if you want to DCA from here on down, like, I'm not even really mad at that. But I don't know when it's going to make a new all-time high again. That's really dependent on how the rest of this market cycle goes. Because when you're talking about, and even a weekly, even a very leading stock like Tesla, it's still prone to the market swaying what it's doing. Like we just talked a little bit ago about it. I think it was in terms of Bitcoin or something. Is the fact that markets can go down because it's an auction market. The people that are holding Tesla and never touching it have no effect on the price. It is only the people in the markets actively buying and selling that affect the price. So it doesn't matter if Tesla only has 10 shares available to sell. This thing could go down to $1, while the other, how many, hundreds of millions of shares, 990 shares are being held and people believe in the company. But it's about the active buying and selling pressure that actually makes the price. And so it's just one of those things where people are going to have opinions on market cap and things like that, and I get it. But there's a guy on Twitter, and I'm not on Twitter that much anymore, but there's a guy on Twitter named Gary Black. If you're interested in Tesla, follow Gary Black. He's a big Tesla bull. Just started his own hedge fund. Used to be like a CEO of BlackRock or something crazy like that. So he's a dude. This guy is a dude, and he posts all the time all kinds of cool stuff about Tesla. Some spreadsheets here. He also has a Bloomberg terminal, and I'll see if I can find one real quick for you. But he talks about future forward earnings on Tesla and the price of Tesla. So, actually, Monkeytron, here you go. BTC is highly correlated to the Nasdaq. Anyway, yeah, check out Gary Black. He's got some great information. If you're a Tesla fan, you can get lost in it and really get some good stuff out of him. He's a real dude, really knowledgeable on Wall Street, and he talks about earnings and Tesla going out to 2023, 2024, and how their current price and the PE ratio from 2023 and 2024 and how those compare. So, it's important to know these things, and Tesla is doing good compared to those forward earnings. Because regardless of what's happening, Tesla's probably still going to make its growth percentage estimates of 50+% for the foreseeable future. Not quite seeing those earnings estimates. He used to post them all the time. Oh, here's one. Or is this Amazon? So anyway, but yeah, check it out, Gary Black. You don't see me talk about a lot of people, but for Tesla, he's a great resource. Posts a lot of good. He's an older institutional investor, like I said, CEO of BlackRock or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I like Tesla here or lower. I mean, really, this is we haven't been down here for a while. Got to 1,200 a couple of times. I mean, I still think this is a $10,000 stock. Absolutely. So 787 to 10,000, you're talking 10 to 14x, whatever that is, from here in 8 years or something like that. And then let's say Elon actually gets full self-driving and Tesla bot going, it'll probably go well beyond that. You're talking. I actually think. Remember the movie iRobot? And there was that company that just kind of everybody knew about it and had the robots in everyone's houses. And they kind of took over the world. And then there's all these other movies, right? Where there's one or two big tech firms that are just so monstrous and everyday in everyone's lives. That's Tesla. I do believe that. You could argue Apple's another one. Amazon's one of them. Tesla's one of them too. And they just have so many products that, and the market potential for electric vehicles is massive. The market potential for battery storage is massive, and full self-driving is massive if that gets done, which they're working on it. And then if they get their robot out, which is based on full self-driving technology, is massive. So you're talking about a company with 4 huge mass market potential, similar to Apple and similar to Amazon. Apple's got iPhone, iPad, iMac. There's 3, right? And then you got Amazon with AWS. And then you got Amazon. So, I mean, Tesla just has so many potential products that could be huge. We'll know in 5 years what the potential is going to be of a lot of these. But obviously, the Tesla car is a game changer and a true leader. Megapack, we think, is a true leader in the industry. Elon said Megapack could be bigger than the car. I think he's lying, but we don't know to what extent, although he is ramping up a factory to 10x their battery production for Megapack. I think that factory is opening, if not open. And then when it comes to FSD, obviously the cars are there. All he has to do is get it right, and then the robot will go along with that. So you kind of get a 2 for once he gets that done. I'm annoyed about these robots before they exist. Oh, that's funny. Um, Batman says, "Thanks for covering Tesla." You know, it's funny in my Power Hour. So we go through the top 20, we go through a bunch of other coins, and then I have a list of written things that I typically will go through. Although we're not in a bull market, so I'm not covering most of them. But one of them, it says stocks and Tesla, because we always talk about Tesla all the time. Not all the time, but enough. And but yeah, so where do you buy Tesla? I mean, I don't mind DCAing in from here down. If we go under 500, 550, I would be flabbergasted. And if that's the case, this market is tanking beyond recognition. And then the Fed's just going to print money. And then you may as well just mortgage your house and then buy Tesla at $500 because it may take a couple of years to get back up. But why the hell not? It's just going to be there's so much growth in this company. It's stupid. The writing's on the wall. They're doing the work. They have the products. They have the market. They have the pricing power. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like that, I said earlier things are obvious. This one's obvious. Super obvious. We don't need robots or Elon Musk thinking he's a world leader. Um, hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Elon. The robots, take it or leave it. Look, they're coming. Whether Elon does it or someone else does it, we're gonna get some robots. We're gonna get some robots. Um, it doesn't have to be Elon that does it, but if he is a true leader, if Tesla is a true leader in AI technology, it's pretty easy to build a robot. In reality, I mean, when you think about it, if you take the engineering prowess of Tesla that did so many things that so many people thought were impossible, and so many things that people didn't even think about, and they did it, and you put them on a robot, it's going to be relatively straightforward. They just have to miniaturize some things. Um, and again, if you remember, if you heard Elon's robot, it's not going to be strong. It's not going to be fast. it's just going to be. It's just going to be like a weak person or a weaker person type of a thing. So it's not going to be. It's not going to be that hard to manufacture. I mean, I would I would argue at scale, if they're not, squeezing the crap out of margins, you would probably what would a robot cost? Like $15,000? I think it costs like 15 grand. The battery pack doesn't have to be massive. It's the size of a person, so there's not a lot of materials. I mean, at the scale that Tesla does stuff, I think it would be relatively inexpensive. And would it be a construction worker or a roofer or a crossing guard or whatever the case may be? Or would it just, do dishes in your house? I don't know. But whatever it does, I mean, people are going to buy it. It is what it is. They're coming. About him being a world leader, um, I'm not sure if he thinks he's a world leader. He just likes to voice his opinion. And who doesn't? You know how many stupid ass people voice their opinion every single day on any social media platform? Every single person in the world says stupid stuff on social media platforms. If you listen to Elon, that's your fault. There's so many stupid people saying stupid things about other stupid things. So, yeah, Diego voices his stupid opinion every day. I voice my stupid opinion every day. So, I don't think he's just trying to do what he thinks is right. And if you had that money, maybe you would too. I mean, you know the funny dichotomy about America? Here's here, here's how hypocritical we are. Is everybody wants to grow up, have a company, be successful, become a billionaire, and change the world, and all we do is bitch at the people that try to do that. We're such hypocrites. It's not even funny. Not even funny. All right, let's go check over here what's going on BTC. So stalling it out a little bit, some lower volume here. If we fail to go higher here, could be a decent shorting opportunity. Stops up here probably, where I have mine right now. No, I'm always right, Monkeytron. How many times don't we have this figured out? I'm right all the time. If there's nothing from the Power Hour that we've gathered, is I'm constantly right. Yeah, if you have a problem, I will solve it and I will be right. Okay? That's it. Full stop. I'm running for president next week. If you don't vote for me, you are wrong. Because I am right. That's how it works. Randy for president. Who's with me? Good, everybody. That's fantastic. All right, what do we got here? See, Diego's putting a deposit for the robot. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think the robot would be pretty cool because I don't think they're going to make it faster or stronger. So I think if you get like one of the first robot software updates would probably be okay. Although some of the motors will probably be a little janky. Although the first generation Model 3s are still going strong. Haven't gotten your Cybertruck yet, and you never will, Diego. And you never will. What will the robot do? That is the question of the day. That is the question of the day. A robot that's good as a person, just F somebody and enslave their children. I can't see any feedback issues. Sounds good. Enslave people's kids. That's a winning strategy. How much Doge will the robots cost? Oh, geez. You want me to... I guess divide by 10 cents. That's not too bad. That's like 150,000 Doge. That's pretty good. Real and crypto in the same phrase as president truly has a ring to it. President real crypto. Just call me Randy. That's okay. I think if I become president, I think I'll drop the real crypto moniker at that point. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hey, wow, almost 2 hours have gone by. It's been fun. It's been real. I can't say it's been real fun, though. It actually has been real fun. I enjoyed myself. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Hopefully you guys got something out of it and you had some fun. And yeah, hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Subscribe to the Real Crypto Power Hour if you haven't. If you have questions about the market and you want someone to answer them that has some market knowledge, experience, that's me. So, all right, everybody, have a great day. Stay safe out there. I will see you guys on the next stream.